Hey guys, welcome back to Seller Sessions. Today we bring in Gary from 80/20 Sourcing. Hello Gary, how you doing?
Hey Danny, doing well. How's it going?
Yeah, good, excellent. Today we're going to be talking about a product failure that you've had, because obviously you're an Amazon seller as well as a sourcing company. Do you want to give a little bit of background on yourself?
Sure. I'm Gary Huang. I run a site called 8020sourcing.com. So I help a lot of Amazon and online sellers source product from China, save time and money, and I also help them with scaling their business to 6 to 7 figures. I'm based here in Shanghai, China.
Excellent. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So tell me about the product that you had problems with.
Okay, so this product was a posture corrector brace that you wear to correct your posture to stop you from slumping when you're using a computer.
Okay, so what basically convinced you with that it was going to be a winner?
Right. So it was early 2016. We used Jungle Scout to research. We validated demand. We saw it was low competition, and then we looked into the reviews and we found ways to improve on the product. And it sold quite well in early and mid 2016. We had about 10 to 15 sales a day. So we were pretty happy with that. But then things took a turn in early 2017 and sales dried up to only about 2 to 3 sales a day due to a number of reasons that we can get into.
Okay, cool. So what would you say, how much in terms of time and money did you put into the project?
Well, we still have hundreds of product in stock and they're not selling.
Yeah.
So we have to find a way to move that or to liquidate it. And, we invested thousands of dollars and about 9 months of cash flow currently is tied up in inventory right now.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's tuck back a bit. Let's talk about where it all went wrong. So let's break it down. We've already just kind of covered what you convinced it was a winner and why. Now let's do a tear down on where you think it went wrong.
Okay, so a couple reasons, both external and internal. So let's talk about external first. So the product was selling well early on in 2016, but then a rush of competitors came into this space. And interestingly enough, I love Jungle Scout, and they have a lot of great content. But at the start of 2017, Jungle Scout released their recommended list of products to sell. So they had this post. And this was actually one of the most prominently featured ones in that post. So naturally, this led to a flood of new competitors. So
Yeah.
that was one of the reasons. It was an external reason. Second problem is we didn't maintain a high enough feedback rating because we were focused on adding new SKUs at that time.
Yeah.
So we got a number of negative reviews because of sizing issues, because it wasn't very comfortable. It was chafing against the skin. And then our rating was only about 3.6 to 3.8 stars, which isn't high at all. So this allowed new competitors to come in with better quality products to secure higher BSR. And then this took away some of our sales.
Yeah.
We also made a mistake, which was our fault. When we inbounded a new shipment to Amazon's fulfillment center, we made a typo in this product SKU. So, like we had another product with basically the same name, and then there was one letter different. So we made a typo, and this resulted in Amazon incorrectly inbounding this SKU for another SKU. So when a customer ordered the product, Amazon actually shipped out the wrong product. Mm-hmm. So this resulted in negative reviews. Amazon wasn't happy about that. So to fix the problem, we basically had to pull everything out of Amazon's fulfillment center. We had to relabel everything, and this was in the US, and how expensive things are. So this created a logistical nightmare for us. And we tried to salvage this product. We created a second generation. Talked to the factory, made the improvements, and it was improved, but it was too late. By this time, the market was already flooded, and we couldn't get back onto page one with either the old or the new product. And also, we didn't have a list to retarget to. Yeah. So we were really in a bad situation with this product.
Did you try doing any Facebook giveaways or anything like that to stimulate rank?
Currently, we are doing that. We are experimenting with Facebook because we're really looking off of the pure Amazon play. So that's something we're looking at.
Can I offer some insights from a personal point of view? Because I've worked on that product, particularly that type of product, a few years ago in the UK. When I was starting out, I helped out. I don't do any consulting or look after people's accounts or anything like that. But when I first started out, I worked with a few different people that I helped out because I wanted to develop some of my skills on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was a posture brace. And like what you said, you do run into certain problems with reviews and stuff. Some of the things that what we had to address, like you were mentioning about the chafing. You mentioned there's a variation in sizing. There's a variation in colors as well. So we had three sizes, and black and in white. And again, we had issues with the reviews. So a couple of things that we had to deal with is on the returns, you always what we call small, medium and liar. So people underestimate their true size. So they complain about something, it doesn't fit them well. It's probably because in most cases, not all, but in most cases, they're overweight and they don't fit that standard structure, right? So that can be from a medium to a large, etc. The other thing as well was people were sending stuff back and they want to return them, but there was like sweat and where there'd been like chafing. So we use specialized materials under the arms, like little flaps underneath to reduce the chafing. The biggest impact we had on to reduce negative reviews was to do inserts. So we done 2 infographic inserts. And it's showing you how to wear because that's the other thing, how to wear it properly, because people affix it wrong and they felt like they've got chest pains or back pains. And the other thing is how it should be packaged and how you should wear it over a t-shirt first to keep it clean. Like the lady who ran the company was merchant fulfilled, so it was in FBA. But it was all coming back, and you don't want to be sending stuff out with like sweat marks under where the armpit marks are. So we've done a lot of corrections that way, and we reduced the return rate by about 50% by doing these inserts, because we said, please read these before you open the packaging, because we wanted to basically say them without using those words, is that you won't be able to return it if you put it close to your skin. You must put it over clothing. So when stuff did come back, they could go straight back out. They could be slightly repackaged and back out the door because that they were a clean version. They weren't close to skin, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's really a good point, Danny. We did have an insert of an infographic, like step by step how to put it on.
Did?
It's just like putting on a backpack. We try to use that simple language so people understand. But I think, and also we said to wear it over a t-shirt. But I think at the end of the day, like I've been doing e-commerce for a long time, starting from like eBay days. People don't really read. I think it's just, they're just, I don't know, they're anxious to try it on and they just do what they will with it.
But the interesting thing for us, the data showed that it went down. So in terms of returns, but also it could have been that it went down is because the people that did rip through the bags and put it on realized they couldn't just return it because they didn't read the inserts.
Right.
To say, you can't just put your sweaty body against it,
Right.
You'd be surprised with people out there, you don't put everyone into the same bucket. But there are human beings out there who are not very sanitized and clean, and they don't think nothing of sending you something back covered in sweat and stuff. It's very surprising, but it just goes to show that, some people just operate in different well. But the other thing that which really helped us, because you're right, in the UK, I'm not sure if the lady still works with the product anymore, because she brought me on board and we turned it around. We got more sales, we got the PPC going, we optimized the listing in the very beginning, sorted those things out, and she was doing quite well. She was selling at $39.99 of all the different sizes, and it was costing her about £9 to make because she had it made in the UK. So she's making pretty good margin on it, but it was also a medical approved version, so that made a big difference to just the standard. But what I did notice looking back on the market recently, the price ranges are massive now. It's like £3 up to £50, but a lot of the stuff that was at £39, like her one, is all around £24, £25, £26 now for the medical grade ones, which I noticed in the UK. So it's interesting with that product. So cash wise, how much have you got sunk in that product at the moment then?
Cash wise, we still have thousands of dollars sunk in the product. We have
tens or
this product actually, the unit cost was not that high.
Yeah.
So I would say less than tens, but it's it's just frustrating because, it's not just the cash, but it's the time and energy.
That's right.
Like we could be, growing our, other best-selling products, but this stuff is always on the back of our mind. We're trying to experiment with Facebook ads and, different methods to kind of move this product. Now, I think like Danny, you had that famous line, you can't polish a turd,
Yeah.
right? It's like, if it's not great, then, it's kind of hard to push it.
Yeah.
But we do have a second generation product we're very confident in. We've been getting better reviews, but it's just been hard, with all the competition to get that BSR that we had before.
And so where are you selling it at the moment? Just the US?
We're selling in the US, and then we're expanding into the EU.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe have a look at Germany. If you've got your quality control up, maybe have a look at Germany as the second market.
Oh, yeah.
But definitely the UK is definitely picked up as a market. I've seen a lot of people taking over there. I actually know some other people that do these braces as well. But definitely if you can get it to a medical grade, I think that will help in terms of trying to sell it as a premium product as well. But yeah, no, it's a tough one. So moving forward, what we kind of discovered some of the mistakes that are made. How are you going to mitigate these mistakes in the future?
Right. So number one is to maintain a high feedback rating of at least 4.5. Yeah. So it has to be a quality product. That way it will stick. Yeah. Otherwise, competitors can just come in and take your place on Amazon.
Yeah.
Number two is product research. Don't just follow the crowd. Yeah. You got to find something that's different. Don't do a Me Too product. Mm-hmm. Third thing is that we didn't do is we didn't build a list at that time. We had thousands of sales, but no customer emails. If we had built a list that time, we could retarget to our existing customers. Like, hey, we have a new and improved version. You can have it at this discount. And I'm sure that would definitely have helped with the generation 2 of the product. But the thing is, we didn't have a list. So we had to start over from scratch. I mean, that's the
difficulties, like I find, don't want to go too far off subject. The difficulties with building a list. I know that everyone says it's that thing, isn't it? It's like, go and set up a Shopify store, go and build a list. But realistically, when it comes to building a list, yes, of course it's possible. But I've had debates with people about lists before. Is that you got like this? Say this is a one-off product; it's not part of a range. The amount of people you've got to get on that list, then you've got to keep that list active. There's no point building a list and leaving it dormant for 9 months. People move on. So you've got to look through, you've got to go, well, if you build a list of 100 and only 10 people open them out, right? So you've got a 10% open rate. That's only 10 people. One person buys. You've invested in that list. And then when are you going to use that list again? Right, I've got a new improved one. You might say, do you see what I mean? In terms of making lists work, they need to be realistically, the list needs to be at least warm, doesn't it? And it has to be utilized over a period of time. Where lists are really good is if you've got a full range and different products underneath that brand. Let's say you've got 20, 30 products. I mean, a perfect example I use is when I used to be head of digital with ticketing companies. We're releasing tickets every single week. People like to go to concerts, theatres and stuff like that. So the lists were very, very important because there was always something new to share with someone. If we utilize that list and only used it once every 9 months, then it won't be as effective. So I think lists are going to be important, but lists become much more important when you've got a full-bodied range and that you can message your audience on a regular basis to keep that list alive,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree 100%, Danny. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. If you just had one product, it's not much you can do with that list. For our posture support, we actually branched out. So we made like a lightweight version, we made like a standard version, and we made like a heavy duty version that like covered your whole back. So we kind of had that, at least 3 products. And then we also expanded into a couple other products that, was very easy for the same factory to do. Yeah. There was like a knee brace. But those other products, I won't get too much into those other products, but that was the intention, building a whole brand of these type of support products.
But the good thing is, though, that you said you're building a brand. Even though this one hasn't worked, without naming the products, could you still go into that world, into that factory and find other products to sell from that factory? Because then all is not lost. I like to try and find a factory, and it's not always easy to find at least getting 3 products out the factory. that will be like the holy grail in the very beginning of dealing with a new factory, because at least you know you've got a cycle of at least 3 products coming out of it, and it makes that factory search all worthwhile. So do you find if there's any opportunity to develop more products in that same niche?
Oh yeah. I've actually visited the factory several times. I've developed a relationship, or in Chinese we call it 关系, with the owner. I sat down with him, kind of told him about, my business, my vision. And there are some other products that, that he's developing that he doesn't promote publicly, online and whatnot. And we are looking into that. But those other products, they're very niche, like super niche products.
Yeah.
But definitely, I agree with you that, if you're going to do the due diligence, if you're going to do the research, finding a factory, you definitely, you should get as much as you can out of it in terms of products to get your ROI on that.
Cool. So what would you say is your 3 main metrics now for selecting a new product moving forward?
My 3 main metrics. Well, obviously, I look for strong demand, low competition, and enough margin. I like to see a retail of about 3 times the factory cost.
Yeah.
Second,
is that landed or just unit price?
That's unit price.
Right.
That's
okay.
Unit,
Yeah.
Second, I look at, can I create some unique content around this product so I can use it to market to customers? So, can I create, like a recipe book, or can I create like some sort of guide to help solve their pain points? I try to, create some content, also to help with marketing, and also to build the list. And then third, I look to see if the product is trending and it's not just a fad. Like obviously you don't want to do like a fidget spinner, it just like burns out in a month or so. But, I try to look at, more trends, when I travel, like I'm really into cooking, like obviously there's some, you don't want to do a garlic press, but if you're into like, certain, types of diets like vegan, or if you're into, like, really like elaborate, like molecular gastronomy or stuff like that, there's stuff like within those niches that they're trending. So I like to, kind of think outside the box when I'm doing my product research.
Cool. And what one piece of advice would you give our listeners or viewers?
Yeah. I think this would be the same advice that I would give myself in 2016 is, if your product is selling well, don't be lazy and don't, rest on your laurels, so to speak. You got to play offense. You want to, build a moat around your business that's going to make it difficult for your competitors to overcome that. So ensuring high quality product with at least 4.5-star reviews, building a list that you can market to in the future, when you come out with new products, and also diversify off of Amazon, website sales, or even, doing wholesale business, locally. You don't want to put all your eggs into one basket. So yeah, that would be my advice.
Excellent. So thank you for coming on today. How can people reach you?
If they'd like to reach me by email, Gary at 8020sourcing.com.
No worries. Take care. And thanks again, guys. We'll see you again soon.